Get your filthy hands off my grandson, you intruder! Eleanor's voice sliced through the midnight silence like a blade, her eyes blazing with contempt as she stormed into the nursery. Aisha Thompson froze, her arms wrapped tight around little Lucas, the 3-month-old squirming against her chest. Tears streamed down her dark cheeks, not from fear, but from a gut-wrenching ache that clawed at her insides. Lucas, who had been wailing for over an hour, finally hushed, his tiny fists unclenching in her hold. Eleanor Hargrove, the iron-fisted widow from Manhattan's elite circles, planted her feet wide, her silk robe swirling like a storm cloud. "Who do you think you are? A black maid sneaking in here at night? Touching what's not yours?" Her words dripped with venom, the unspoken slur hanging heavy in the air. Outsider, unworthy. Aisha's jaw locked tight, her breath hitching as she rocked the baby instinctively, her nurse's training kicking in despite the assault. She whispered to Lucas, "Shh, baby boy, Mama's got you." But the words caught in her throat, echoing the ghost of her own lost son. Alexander Hargrove burst through the door seconds later, his tie askew from a late-night board meeting, his face etched with exhaustion. "Mother, what the hell?" But Eleanor cut him off, jabbing a manicured finger at Aisha. "This woman invaded the nursery, holding your son like she's entitled. Look at her tears. Crocodile tears. Probably plotting something sinister." Alex's eyes darted to Aisha, the new hire he'd barely noticed beyond her resume, a former nurse from Harlem, down on her luck after personal tragedy. Lucas nestled deeper into Aisha's embrace, his cries silenced for the first time in weeks, but Aisha's own sobs grew raw, her shoulders shaking as memories flooded back. The sterile hospital room, where her baby boy had slipped away from a sudden heart defect. Eleanor's lips curled in disgust. "See? She's unhinged. Crying over a stranger's child? Get out before I call the police on you for trespassing on my family." Aisha's grip tightened on Lucas, her nails digging into her palms to steady herself, refusing to let go yet. The room pulsed with tension, the baby's calm a stark contrast to the fury boiling around him. Alex stepped forward, his voice firm but uncertain. "Aisha, explain yourself." But before she could draw a breath, Eleanor snarled again. "Don't let her speak. She's manipulating you both." The accusation landed like a slap, forcing Aisha to swallow her pain, her eyes locking on Alex's in a silent plea. Why was she crying? The question hung unspoken, a shadow over the opulent nursery, as Lucas cooed softly, oblivious to the storm. Eleanor's glare intensified, her obsession with controlling her late daughter's legacy fueling the fire. She wouldn't let some help steal her place. Aisha's heart pounded, the weight of her grief clashing with the raw injustice, setting the stage for a battle she never sought. "I said explain!" Alex's command thundered, his fist clenching at his side as he towered over Aisha, the nursery light casting harsh shadows on his chiseled face. But Eleanor shoved forward, her nails digging into his arm. "Don't listen to her lies, Alexander. She's a fraud. Crying like that over your son? It's manipulation, pure and simple." Aisha's chest heaved, her arms still cradling Lucas, whose peaceful breaths mocked the chaos. She opened her mouth, voice cracking. "Sir, Eleanor snapped. "Shut your mouth. You're fired if you utter one more word." The words hit Aisha like a punch, her knees buckling slightly under the weight of it all. Before this nightmare erupted, Aisha's life in Harlem had been a grinding routine of survival. A 35-year-old former nurse, she'd scrubbed hospital floors and held dying hands until her own world shattered. Her 2-month-old son, Jamal, gone in a blink from a congenital heart defect that no one saw coming. The grief had stripped her bare, forcing her from the ER to domestic work, where she could hide her scars behind a mop in a forced smile. Days blurred into nights of empty apartments, cheap ramen, and silent sobs, her only solace the faint hope that caring for others' kids might mend her broken heart. Hiring on with the Hargroves seemed like a lifeline, steady pay in a swanky Manhattan penthouse, far from the sirens of her old life. But now this, Eleanor's rage igniting everything. The catalyst exploded when Eleanor yanked Lucas from Aisha's arms, the baby stirring with a whimper. "You think you can waltz in here and play mother? Not in my house." Her voice rose to a screech, veins bulging in her neck. Aisha recoiled, hands empty and trembling, the loss echoing Jamal's final stillness. Alex rubbed his temples, caught in the crossfire. Mother, she calmed him. No one's done that since Sarah. Eleanor's eyes flashed murder at the mention of her dead daughter. Calmed him or drugged him. I won't have this black woman poisoning our bloodline. The slur landed raw, Aisha's fists bawling as fury surged through her veins. She bit back tears, whispering, I lost my own boy. Hearing Lucas cry, it tore me open. But Eleanor laughed bitterly. Convenient story. Pack your things. You're confined to the basement from now on. No upstairs when the baby's awake. And if I catch you near him again, you're out on the street. Alex hesitated, his gaze flickering to Aisha's stricken face. But Eleanor's grip on his shoulder tightened like a vice. Do it, son, or I'll handle it myself. The decision hung heavy, Aisha's world narrowing to the basement stairs she descended, her back straight despite the humiliation. Rules piled on, night shifts only, no eye contact with the family, constant surveillance. Yet Lucas's cries echoed through the vents, pulling at her like a magnet. Aisha vowed silently, gripping the railing until her knuckles whitened. She'd prove her worth, heal this child, even if it meant battling the Hargrove fortress from the shadows. But as Eleanor's footsteps faded above, a darker plan brewed in the widow's mind, ready to unleash hell. Stay in your lane, girl, or I'll make sure no one hires you again. You people always overstep. Eleanor's hiss pierced the basement door as Aisha slammed it shut behind her, her fists pounding the wood in silent fury. Her breath came in ragged bursts, chest tight like a vice, the echo of Lucas's whimpers fueling her resolve. She wouldn't crumble, not after Jamal's grave robbed her of everything. Pacing the dim space, her nurse's instincts surged. Massage techniques, soothing holds she'd used on premature babies in the ER. She'd prove it, damn the rules. Slipping upstairs at dawn when Eleanor slept, Aisha crept to the nursery edge, whispering lullabies through the crack, her voice a lifeline. Lucas stirred, his cries softening at her tone, her hands itching to hold him. But Eleanor caught the murmur, bursting in like a fury. What the? Get back downstairs, you're defying me already? Aisha spun, chin lifted. He's hurting. I can help. Eleanor lunged, grabbing her arm with bruising force. Help? By sneaking like a thief. Know your place. The grip twisted, Aisha's teeth grinding against the pain, but she yanked free, eyes blazing. My place is caring for kids. Yours is bullying. Eleanor's slap cracked across her cheek, the sting blooming hot. Insolent. Clean the floors twice today. No breaks. Aisha's cheek burned, but she nodded, retreating, her mind racing. Adapt, observe, win Lucas over from afar. Days blurred into humiliations. Eleanor barking orders in front of staff. Polish the silver till it shines or you're out. Her contempt laced with slurs like lazy help. Aisha swallowed it, scrubbing till her knuckles bled. But at night she'd hum tunes through vents, Lucas's fussing easing bit by bit. One evening, Lucas's screams shredded the penthouse, nannies failing one after another. Alex stormed down, frustration etched deep. Aisha, up here, now! She bolted up, heart slamming, ignoring Eleanor's glare. Sir? He thrust Lucas at her. Do something! Aisha's arms enveloped the boy, her fingers tracing gentle circles on his back, old ER tricks for colic. Lucas quieted, his head nestling against her shoulder, breaths evening out. Alex's eyes widened. How? Aisha met his gaze. Experience. Lost my own. Know the signs. Eleanor shoved between them. Don't buy it. She's tricking you. But Alex waved her off, a flicker of respect crossing his face. She works. Let her. Aisha's pulse thrummed victory, but Eleanor's scowl deepened, her wheels turning darker. Through the trials, Aisha learned, endurance cracked walls, her grief forged into strength. Yet as Lucas smiled in her hold for the first time, Eleanor's threats loomed larger, ready to strike. You're crossing a line you'll regret. You meddling nobody. Stay away from my blood or I'll destroy you. Eleanor's shriek exploded in the hallway as she cornered Aisha, her finger jabbing like a dagger inches from Aisha's face. Aisha's spine stiffened, her pulse hammering, but she held ground, the memory of Lucas's smile stealing her nerves. "I'm helping your grandson. That's all." Eleanor slapped her hand away. "Helping? You're infecting him with your sob stories. Get back to scrubbing." But Aisha's eyes narrowed, fire igniting. She wouldn't back down now, not after tasting victory in Lucas's calm. The turning point slammed home that Thursday night. Lucas's cries ripped through the penthouse like sirens, relentless, piercing. Nanny's fleeing in defeat, Alex pacing with sweat beading on his brow. "Damn it, nothing works," he bellowed down the stairs. "Aisha, get up here." She raced up, ignoring Eleanor's venomous stare from the shadows. Alex thrust the red-faced infant at her. "Fix this." Aisha's hand steadied Lucas, her thumbs pressing gentle points on his tiny belly. Acupressure from her nursing days, easing the gas that twisted him. 10 minutes flat, his wails faded to sighs, his body relaxing in her grasp like melting wax. Alex exhaled sharply, his shoulders dropping. "Incredible. You've got the touch." Aisha's chest swelled, a rare warmth cutting through her grief. "Just knowing what he needs." Eleanor charged in, robe flapping wildly. "What is this? Defying my rules again?" She snatched at Lucas, but Alex blocked her. "Mother, stop. She's the only one who can." Eleanor's face twisted purple. "She's poisoning him. Can't you see?" Aisha's grip tightened on the boy, her voice steady. "Check him. No harm done." Alex examined Lucas, nodding firmly. "He's fine. Better than fine." The decision locked in. Alex turned to Eleanor, voice like iron. "She's staying, and she'll care for him when needed." Eleanor's slap attempt missed as Aisha dodged, the air whistling. "You'll rue this. She's a threat." But Alex stood tall. "Enough. She's proven herself." That moment sealed it. No retreat possible. Aisha's bond with Lucas deepened, her days shifting from drudgery to purpose, feeding him with custom holds, bathing him with soothing strokes, her grief channeling into fierce protection. But Eleanor escalated, her calls to connections in high society spreading whispers. "That black maid's worming in. Watch her." Reporters lurked outside, snapping photos, twisting Aisha's past into scandal. "Former nurse fired for negligence," one sneered at the gate. Aisha's fist clenched as she read the tabloid hit, her name smeared. Yet she pushed on, teaching Alex subtle cues. Lucas's heart murmur, faint but familiar from Jamal's charts. "Monitor this," she urged, handing him notes. Alex's nod carried weight, his trust solidifying. "You're invaluable." Eleanor's obsession boiled over in private rants, her fingers clawing a photo of her dead daughter. "Not letting her steal my legacy." She hired a PI digging dirt, her threats now whispers in Alex's ear. "She's hiding something deadly." Aisha overheard, her resolve hardening like diamond. She couldn't walk away. Lucas needed her, and she'd fight for this fragile family she'd claimed. But as Eleanor's shadows lengthened, a storm brewed, ready to unleash fury beyond words. "You think you're irreplaceable, you scheming intruder. I'll expose you for the fraud you are, and watch you crawl back to the gutter." Eleanor's venom spat across the kitchen counter, her eyes drilling into Aisha like hot coals as she blocked the doorway, trapping her mid-step. Aisha's hands froze on the bottle warmer, steam rising like her boiling rage, her lips pressing into a thin line. "I'm just feeding him, as Alex asked." Eleanor lunged, knocking the bottle aside with a crash, milk splattering the marble. "Alex is blind. You're worming in, turning my grandson against me." Aisha's fist balled, nails biting palms, but she snatched the bottle back, refusing to yield. "He's thriving because of me." Eleanor's laugh barked sharply. "Thriving or drugged into submission? I've got eyes on you now." The noose tightened that very night. Eleanor, fueled by her twisted grief over Sarah's death, dialed her private investigator in the shadows of her study, her knuckles white on the phone. Dig deeper. Twist her past until it breaks her. The PI unearthed fragments. Aisha's ER dismissal after Jamal's death, spun into negligent mother kills own child. Whispers hit the elite circles first. Eleanor's club lunches, buzzing with, "That Hargrove maid? Dangerous, untrustworthy." Typical. Aisha felt the squeeze at dawn, reporters swarming the penthouse gates, cameras flashing like accusations. "Ms. Thompson, comment on the allegations. You poisoned your baby?" One shoved a mic in her face as she fetched groceries, her arms laden, heart slamming. She pushed through, jaw locked, but the words stabbed deep, reopening Jamal's wound. "No comment," she growled, slamming the door, her breath short, panic clawing. Eleanor didn't stop. Anonymous calls flooded Aisha's phone at odd hours. Harsh voices hissing, "Leave the kid alone, or we'll make sure you never work again." She hung up, hands shaking, but the next hit harder. "We know about your accident with your son. Stay away, or the cops get involved." Aisha's stomach churned, her sleep shattered, eyes hollowing from the relentless assault. At the penthouse, Eleanor barred her from Lucas outright. "No more care. Your kitchen duty only," she snarled during a family dinner, shoving Aisha aside as Lucas fussed in his high chair. Aisha reached instinctively, but Eleanor's slap cracked her wrist away. "Touch him and you're arrested for assault." Lucas's cries escalated, his tiny face reddening, pulling at Aisha's core. She whispered from afar, "Hang on, baby." But Eleanor yanked him up, cooing falsely. "See? He hates your kind." The slur landed like acid, Aisha's teeth grinding till they ached, her isolation deepening. Job hunts crumbled. Calls to agencies met with, "Sorry, heard about the scandal. Not hiring." Aisha paced her tiny room, walls closing in, her nurse's license now tainted by online smears, forums ablaze with Hargrove's black maid under investigation, child endangerment. Friends distanced, whispers in Harlem markets stinging. "That girl? Messed up rich folks, stay clear." Yet Lucas's dependence gnawed, his health dipped, checkups showing weight loss, his cries echoing accusations. Alex defended weakly at first. "Mother, ease up, she's good." But Eleanor cut him. "Good? She's a liar. Look at this report. Her kid died suspiciously." She waved falsified papers, her obsession blinding her to the pain she inflicted. Aisha confronted her once, voice low and fierce. "Stop this. I'm no threat," Eleanor smirked, leaning in. "Oh, you are. And I'll crush you." The pressure mounted, Aisha's resolve fraying at the edges, her body exhausted from double shifts in evasion. But as Eleanor's web tightened, a fatal slip loomed, ready to snap everything apart. "You poisoned my grandson, you murderous witch. Admit it, or I'll have you locked up for life." Eleanor's accusation thundered through the penthouse hall, her body blocking Aisha's path like a barricade, a vial of baby sedative clutched in her shaking fist. Aisha's blood ran cold, her hands flying up in defense as the staff gawked from the corners. "What? I never—" Eleanor hurled the vial at her feet, glass shattering into shards that bit into Aisha's bare soles. "Found it in your room. Lucas woke up dazed. You're doing—" Aisha's feet stung, blood welling, but she stood firm, voice slicing back. "Planted. You hate me that much?" Eleanor's slap connected hard, snapping Aisha's head sideways. "Hate? You're filth invading my family. Out now!" The collapse hit like a freight train that Sunday morning. Eleanor, her obsession peaking in a frenzy of forged evidence, had slipped the sedative into Aisha's drawer during a routine check, her PI's twisted report in hand. Suspicious death of own child. Pattern of harm. She confronted Alex in his study, papers slamming down. "See? She's a killer. Drugged Lucas to play hero." Alex's face drained of color, eyes flicking to the vial, doubt cracking his trust. "Aisha, explain this." She burst in, summoned by his roar, her heart pounding, fists against her ribs. "It's a setup. I'd never hurt him." Eleanor cut her. "Lies, your boy died the same way. Overdose." Aisha's knees buckled, Jamal's memory flashing like knives. The cold crib, the autopsy ruling natural causes. "Heart defect, not me." But Alex's hand rose, silencing her. "The evidence. It's damning." Eleanor's smirk flashed triumph, her arms snatching Lucas from the bassinet as he stirred groggily. "He's safe now. From you." Aisha's world crumbled in waves. Fired on the spot, her belongings shoved into a trash bag by Eleanor, who hissed, "Be gone!" before I press charges. Aisha grabbed the bag, tears burning down her face, but Eleanor blocked the door. "Sign this, admit negligence, or I'll sue for everything." Aisha's pen hovered, hand trembling, but she tore the paper instead. "Never!" Eleanor's shove sent her stumbling out, the door slamming like a coffin lid. On the street, reporters swarmed anew. "Child abuser! Comment!" Flashes blinded her, microphones thrusting like spears. She shoved through, elbows sharp, but one grabbed her arm. "Your son's death! Murder!" The word gutted her, knees hitting pavement, sobs wrenching free. Friends turned away. Texts unread, doors shut in Harlem. "Can't risk it," one muttered over the phone before hanging up. Aisha's savings drained fast. Eviction notice slapped her mailbox days later. "Unfit tenant, scandal." She huddled in a shelter, body aching from skipped meals, mind replaying Lucas's cries. Loss piled on loss. Lucas spiraled without her, hospital runs for dehydration, his wails echoing in Alex's frantic calls to nannies who quit. "He's inconsolable," Alex confessed to Eleanor, but she crowed. "Good, purging her influence." Aisha heard whispers in the streets. "That maid ruined the Hargroves, deserved it." Her nurse's pride was shattered, license under review from anonymous tips. "Malpractice history," the board letter read, her hands crumpling it as despair clawed deeper. One night, alone on a bench, she clutched Jamal's old blanket, whispers breaking. "Why me? Again?" The final blow, a tabloid headline screamed, "Black Maid's deadly secret, Hargrove heir in peril." Photos of her tear-streaked face plastered everywhere, job offers vanishing like smoke. Aisha's fist pounded the ground, knuckles splitting, every gain erased in Eleanor's vengeful storm. Hope flickered out, her body curling fetal, the weight crushing her spirit. But in the abyss's grip, a faint spark stirred. Alex's lingering doubt, a clue buried in the chaos, waiting to ignite revenge. "You're nothing but a stain on this city. Nobody wants you, not even your own kind." The shelter worker's sneer cut through Aisha as she slumped on a cot. The words echoing Eleanor's venom, her body sinking under the weight of defeat. Her hands clutched Jamal's tattered blanket, fingers tracing the faded teddy bear print, each stitch a knife twisting in her gut. Her Harlem apartment, gone, rent unpaid after the smear campaign. Jobless, friendless, her nurse's license under review. Aisha's world had collapsed into this damp, overcrowded shelter, the stench of despair thick in the air. Her jaw clenched till it throbbed, holding back sobs that threatened to break her. Nights blurred into torment. Sleep evaded her, Lucas's cries haunting her mind like a siren she couldn't answer. She saw his face, pale, thinning, those hospital reports Alex had mentioned before the firing. Dehydration, weight loss. Her fingers twitched, itching to soothe him with the gentle presses she'd mastered. But she was cut off, banished. The tabloid's lies screamed louder. Hargrove Maid's dark past, child killer? Her phone, nearly dead, buzzed with a final text from a former coworker. "Aisha, you're poisoned now. Stay away." She hurled the device against the wall, plastic cracking, her chest heaving with rage and grief. "Why me?" she whispered, fists pounding her thighs, bruises blooming under her knuckles. Daylight brought no relief. At a soup kitchen, whispers followed her. "That's her, the maid who tried to hurt the rich kid." Eyes averted, trays pulled away as if she carried plague. Isha's shoulders hunched, her nurse's pride, a decade of saving lives, reduced to ash. She replayed Eleanor's final blow, the vial shattering at her feet, the accusation of poisoning Lucas. "I'd die before hurting him," she muttered, shoving cold soup aside, her stomach rejecting it. Guilt gnawed deeper. Had she pushed too hard, caring for Lucas like he was hers? The thought of Jamal, cold in his crib, surged up, her breath hitching. She staggered to a bathroom, splashing water on her face. But the mirror showed a stranger, hollow eyes, cheeks sunken, a woman broken by a system stacked against her. She considered running. leaving New York, starting over where no one knew her shame. A bus ticket to nowhere tempted her savings, scraped to 1243. Just go, she whispered, clutching the blanket tighter. But Lucas's face flashed again, his tiny hand once curling around her finger. Abandoning him felt like betraying Jamal all over again. Her knees hit the floor, body curling tight, the shelter's din fading to white noise. "I'm done," she choked, the words bitter, her spirit teetering on surrender. Yet in the quiet, a memory flickered. Alex's fleeting trust, his nod when Lucas calmed in her arms. Was he still blind to Eleanor's lies? A faint pulse of defiance stirred, her nails digging into the blanket, refusing to let go completely. But as despair tightened its grip, a single question burned. Could she claw her way back from this abyss? "You're the nurse who pulled my wife from that wreck, saved her life, and I repaid you with betrayal." Alex's roar shattered the shelter's murmur as he burst through the door, his coat drenched, eyes wild with guilt, slamming a faded hospital report onto Aisha's cot. Aisha jolted upright, blanket tumoring, her fists clenching the edges as shock ripped through her. "What? Get out! You've ruined me enough." But Alex dropped to one knee, shoving the paper closer, his breath ragged. "Read it! Sarah's crash. 10 years ago. You were the ER nurse who stabilized her, kept her breathing till surgery. Eleanor knew. Hid it because you didn't fit her image." Aisha's hand snatched the report, fingers trembling. The name, Aisha Thompson, bold under responding staff. Jamal's birth still months away then. Her throat tightened, memories flooding. The mangled car, Sarah's weak pulse, her own hands compressing ribs, barking orders to interns. I remember her eyes, begging to live for her future. Alex's grip latched onto her arm, desperate. Eleanor buried it. Prejudice blinded her. But Lucas? He's dying without you. Hospital again, screaming for hours. Aisha yanked free, standing tall, her voice cracking like thunder. "And you believed her lies? Threw me out like trash?" Alex's head bowed, shoulders heaving. "I was weak, trusted family. But digging now, your allergy to sedatives, Eleanor planted that vial, knowing it'd frame you perfectly." The truth slammed home. Aisha's knees buckling, but she caught herself on the cot rail, breath exploding out. "Allergy? From childhood, hives, throat closing. She tried to kill me with her setup?" Alex nodded fiercely. "Yes, and twisted Jamal's death. Autopsy clear, heart defect, no foul play. You're innocent, a hero." Aisha's fists pounded the mattress, rage morphing to clarity, her nurse's oath resurfacing. Save lives no matter the cost. "Hero, I lost everything, my boy, my job, my name smeared across New York." He pressed on, voice urgent. "But you saved Sarah, gave us years together, time for Lucas." Eleanor confessed bits in her rage, obsessed with control, saw you as the thief stealing her daughter's echo. Aisha's eyes blazed, piecing it. Eleanor's slurs, the planted evidence, all to erase her. "She feared me, because I heal what she breaks." The revelation ignited, her grief forging into purpose, Jamal's memory whispering strength. "I won't run. Lucas needs me." Alex stood, pulling her up. "Then fight with me. We'll expose her, get you back." Aisha's nod sealed it, her hand crushing his in agreement, fire surging through veins. "Plan it, court, press, whatever. She won't win." He outlined quickly. Documents from the old crash, allergy records, and PI flips to their side. Aisha's mind raced, strategies clicking. Confront Eleanor head-on. Use Sarah's survival as the blade. Start with the hospital. Pull my files. Alex's eyes locked on hers. "Done. You're family now." The weight lifted fractionally, Aisha's shoulders straightening. The blanket dropped like shed skin. Her plan crystallized. Infiltrate the penthouse shadows. Gather proof of Eleanor's tampering. Rally witnesses from her ER days. She'll pay. For Jamal's shadow. For Lucas's pain. Alex's embrace crushed her briefly, solid. "Together, we end this." As he left, Aisha paced, pulse thundering, the abyss receding behind a wall of resolve. But the final battle loomed, Eleanor's claws still sharp, waiting to strike one last time. You dare drag my name through the mud, you ungrateful parasite? I'll strip you of everything, starting with that bastard child. Eleanor's screech exploded in the courtroom, her body lunging over the witness stand, fingers clawing the air toward Aisha, who stood unflinching, her chin high, eyes locked like lasers. The judge's gavel cracked down. Order! But Eleanor spat. She's a liar, blackmailing my son with her sob story. Aisha's fists tightened at her sides, nails drawing blood, her voice cutting through. Your story's crumbling. I saved Sarah, your daughter. Hospital records prove it. Eleanor's face contorted, veins bulging. Saved? You botched it. Delayed surgery with your incompetence. Aisha slammed the folder down, pages flying. Lies, I stabilized her. Gave you years. You hid it because I'm not your kind. The showdown ignited in the New York courthouse, packed with reporters, their pens scratching like accusations. Alex flanked Aisha, his hand brushing hers in silent steel, the plan unfolding razor sharp. They'd gathered arsenal, allergy charts showing the sedative could have killed her, Jamal's autopsy black and white natural causes, ER logs naming Aisha a hero in Sarah's crash. Eleanor on the stand, twisted under cross-examination. She drugged Lucas. Evidence. Her lawyer thrust the vial, but Aisha's attorney countered, voice booming. Planted. Defendant's prints only. Yours, Mrs. Hargrove. Eleanor's slap at the air missed, her roar guttural. Fabricated. She's manipulating Alex, seducing him for money. Alex surged forward. Enough, mother. I saw the truth. You framed her out of hate. Eleanor's eyes bulged. Hate? Protecting my blood from her filth. The slur hung, gasps rippling through the room, Aisha's jaw grinding till pain shot through. Filth! I nursed your daughter back, while you watched from your ivory tower. Witnesses piled on, domino strikes. The PI flipped, testifying under oath. She paid me to twist facts, said make her look guilty, whatever it takes. Eleanor's denial cracked. Traitor! The judge silenced her. Continue. A former ER colleague took the stand, voice steady. Aisha saved lives daily. Sarah Hargrove owed her everything? Eleanor lunged again. Biased, all in on her scheme. But Aisha stepped up, her turn scorching. Scheme? You obsessed over Lucas like a prize. Controlled Sarah till she broke. Admit it. Eleanor's fist pounded the rail. Admit nothing. You're the monster, killing your own boy. Aisha's breath hitched, but she fired back. Heart defect, proven. You planted that vial knowing my allergy, tried to murder me. The courtroom erupted, Eleanor's lawyer yanking her back. Objection. Overruled. Alex handed over texts. Eleanor's rants to cronies. Rid me of that maid. Any means. Her face drained white. Forged. But the digital trail burned her lies. The final thrust came swiftly. Lucas, in a carrier with a nanny, whimpered from the back, his cries piercing. Aisha turned, instinct pulling her. Let me. The judge nodded. She scooped him up, fingers tracing his back, his wails fading to coos. Eleanor charged the barrier. Give him back! Mine! Guards restrained her, her screams feral. He's rejecting you! Aisha held firm, Lucas nestling close. The judge's verdict hammered down. Custody to father, restraining order on grandmother, psychiatric eval mandatory. Eleanor collapsed, hit the floor, sobs wrenching. No, my legacy! Alex pulled Aisha close. It's over. But as guards hauled Eleanor away, her glare promised one last venomous twist, her lips mouthing silent threats. You think you've won, you filthy opportunist? I'll haunt you from the grave if I must, but you'll never erase me. Eleanor's final curse rasped from the courtroom steps, her body restrained by guards, wrists cuffed, eyes shooting daggers at Aisha as she clutched Lucas close, his tiny head burrowing into her neck. Aisha's arms locked tighter, shielding him, her voice steady as steel. Haunt all you want. Truth buried you. Eleanor's thrash sent a guard stumbling, her screams echoing. My grandson! Mine! But the doors slammed shut, muffling her to silence, the judge's order ringing, therapy or jail. Aisha exhaled sharply, her body trembling from the adrenaline crash. But Alex's hand gripped her shoulder. It's done. We're free. Life reshaped in the weeks that followed, the penthouse transforming from a battlefield to a haven. Aisha moved in fully, her nurse's scrubs traded for family rhythms. Mornings feeding Lucas purees, she blended herself, his giggles bubbling as she tickled his toes, erasing the hollow cries of separation. Alex proposed on a quiet evening, ring slipping onto her finger mid-lullaby. Marry me, be his mother, my partner. Aisha's kiss sealed it, fierce. I already am. The wedding hit headlines positively now. Hargrove heroine weds, Maid turned savior. Reporters who'd smeared her before ate crow, interviews flowing with Aisha's story. I lost one son, won't lose another. Her license reinstated, she volunteered at Harlem clinics, hands steady on stethoscopes, healing kids like Jamal might have been. Pay it forward, she told patients, her smile genuine, scars fading. Eleanor changed too, therapy cracking her shell. Months in, she wrote from the facility, I see now. Obsession blinded me. Forgive? Aisha read it aloud to Alex, her fist crumpling the paper at first. She nearly killed us. But Lucas cooed, reaching for the letter, his innocence softening her. They visited, guarded, Eleanor humbled in a plain room. Grandma? Aisha offered Lucas tentatively. Eleanor's tears fell gently for once. My boy. No slurs, just regret. I feared losing Sarah again. Pushed you away. Aisha nodded curtly. Fear destroys. Love builds. The visits grew, Eleanor rebuilding bridges brick by brick, her obsession tamed into quiet affection. Story time with Lucas, no demands. The new reality solidified. Family barbecues in Central Park. Aisha's laughter mingling with Alex's, Lucas toddling between them, his heart murmur monitored under her watchful eye. Tabloids shifted. From scandal to fairy tale, love conquers prejudice. Aisha spoke at events, voice booming. Race, class, barriers we build. Tear them down with truth. Alex backed her, funding clinics in Harlem. She saved us all. One night, cradling Lucas asleep, Aisha whispered to Alex, we made it. Stronger. His kiss lingered. Because of you. The lesson etched deep. Love defies hate. Truth shatters chains. And forgiveness mends what obsession breaks. In their embrace, Lucas stirred, smiling in dreams. The family unbreakable, a testament to resilience. And as stars pricked the city sky, whispers of more children danced on the horizon, hope eternal. In the end, this story reminds us that true love and compassion can shatter the walls of prejudice and injustice, proving that family is forged not by blood or status, but by unwavering kindness and truth. What do you think? Did Aisha's resilience inspire you? Share your thoughts or your own stories of overcoming hardship in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this heartfelt tale, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our community for more inspiring stories. See you at the next one.